This is CarlylesPicks, and we're about to head off. This is his Daytona 675R. This is the Ninja 300 ZX3R, and we're gonna do a little swap-a-roni here. This is a bone stock 675R Daytona. Say hi. Woohoo! Are you okay on gas?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, the lever's adjustable. This bike is really tall. If you're 5'3" with a 29-inch inseam, a really tall bike. I don't know why the ABS light is going. Here's a cockpit look. Let's do a couple revs. That sounds good. Sorry, I'll get it. Got my gloves on, but I'll be done in a second. Okay, you're good. Are you recording? Let's get you recording. Okay, good to go. Okay, there's the sound of the 675R. And that is a triple. It's pretty leaned over, but it's pretty comfortable. It's really committed though. It's a really committed riding position. The clutch is in a weird spot. Get underway, feels pretty good. Got a good amount of power compared to the Ninja. Very comfortable once you're underway. Now it has a slipper clutch. Let's go to high beam mode. Very smooth. Quick shifter is nice. Flickability, let's see how the handling is. The handling is really good. It's much better than, I like it better than Sean's Gixxer 1000 that I tried. It's very smooth. Like when you let off the gas, really smooth. What a beautiful bike. Yeah, it's got really smooth onset of engine braking. It's just really tall. But if you could get around the psychology of the bike being really fucking tall, assuming you're short, then you're good to go. The handling feels good. Okay, we're gonna get a shot of Carlyle here in a second. Brakes are good. The levers are wonky, but you know, any new bike you try, you're gonna have levers in weird positions compared to what you're used to. Yeah, see, the lever's at the edge of my grip, my finger length. Come on, pokies of slow. Tank is very grippable, nice and wide. I love that engine. God, it sounds like, what is this? I've never ridden a triple, so until now. It sounds like a Ferrari. This sounds really good. It's got the sound of an inline four, but fiercer. More of a roarty growl. Now, despite being a committed riding position, it feels pretty darn good. Shorter riders, you're going to have to really be strategic where you stop, and when you shift your weight from left foot to right foot, or even tippy toe, you got to be careful about that. But the bike is so light that the tallness seems to matter less. Let's see, is there a gear indicator? Yes, third gear. Nice. I like having a gear indicator again. See, I gotta fix that clutch. I don't like where the clutch is right now. Now, it takes a little bit more effort to steer it than the Ninja, as I would expect. I really like how when you let off the throttle, it's very smooth. It's not abrupt. Nice engine braking on this thing. Does this SUV really have its brakes on the entire freaking time? Jeez. Yeah, a little bit of bar pressure needs to turn it, but not too bad. Pretty good for a 675. Carlyle's Picks coming up. Yeah, I don't like the clutch, but you know I got short fingers. I'm sort of a special case. Quick shifter works great. Now I'm on a road I know. I like this bike. It's tall as fuck, but I really do like it. Try roll on. Okay. Oh, I see it has a shift light. Okay, so remember I told you I was considering the Ninja 636 and this bike as my top two contenders. I'm in third gear now, by the way. Third gear is a good gear for this road, it seems. And it looks like the REDLINE is at 14.5 RPM. So my top two bikes are the 636 and this bike. And I'll tell you soon which bike I like better. I'm still taking it easy because I'm still getting used to the handling of this bike. It actually turns better than I thought it would turn. Those Brembos are amazing. See, roll-on is spectacular. The fueling, spectacular. So basically, as you roll on, the engine is quite smooth. The throttle, the clutch is surprisingly forgiving down low. You got a lot of friction zone. Let's see how it handles this bumpy section. Pretty good. The Owens is pretty compliant. I've never ridden an Owens bike before, till now. These tighter turns are where I'm being a little cautious. As I get used to the brakes. Okay, don't want first gear. Let's get some Carlyle shots. See how he rides. He's keeping a decent pace with me. I'm not going that fast though. Yeah, there's almost too much clutch trouble for my taste. Tires feel pretty good. Yeah, engine braking on this bike is so smooth. You don't really need too much brake. You can just engine brake it. So the riding position is pretty committed. Wonder how he's liking that 300. We'll find out. Yeah, 300 can easily keep up with any bike as long as you got the skills. Well on that bike though. This gauge is really hard to read, these gauges, this LCD. I think the contrast needs to be adjusted or something. Now, Carlyle is 6 feet tall, and he fits on that 300 pretty well. There's actually bigger, taller riders on that thing. We both weigh about the same, 155. I'm a little overweight. So our bikes are basically set up for our weight already, is what I'm trying to say. Doing good here, slowing me down a little bit, but yeah, I know the road, so this is like my home road. I'll pass him on one of these straights up here. Yeah, once you get comfortable on this thing, it's such a great bike. It really is. Okay, I'm gonna pass this guy. So, is the 675 better than the 300? In many ways, of course it is. Better suspension. I like the engine better, but that's subjective. I like the triple. But the ride position, it's amazing for the twisties. Not as comfortable as the 300. With clip-ons, I mean. It's got great pull though. Pretty comfortable for a super sport. Actually, I think it's more comfortable than the 636. Slipper clutch is nice. Now, what's nice about the bigger tires, they feel really planted. Even in the bumpy stuff. First thing I would do on this bike, two things, fender eliminator and Pazzo levers. And I would adjust the friction zone of the clutch. You don't want to pressure a rider on a new road, even if he's going at a spirited pace. Give him a little room. So you don't want to pressure. You don't want them to ride over their heads trying to keep up or stay ahead or whatever it is. So, you know, they got to get to know the road a little bit. Right there. Ooh, that's a tall bike. Okay, first gear. Yes, we are.
I think this bike is a little bit faster than the Daytona.
Hey, you're doing great on it. How do you like it?
I love it, man.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's do a quick initial review.
You know the typical thing, right? You're gonna get tired of it in a couple of weeks, man. You're gonna want to sell it and get another one. Just get you a 600. Hey, man, look, if you really want to ride, ride. Not talk about, you know, showing off with your buddies, and you got the fastest bike and the ego stuff and the bike nights. I'm
Right.
talking about riding, canyon riding, and maybe a track or something like that. If that's your goal, you can't get tired of this thing in a few
It's
months.
amazing, I know.
I've ridden on all these crazy bikes, Daytona, Pazzo, whatever, and I had a blast right now on this.
I'm telling you, there's a method to my madness.
After all these years and years of riding and all these bikes, and I still had a blast with it. So how the hell can a new rider tell me in a few months you get tired of this? Oh, I know how. Because if you're into the bike scene and bike night and who's got the most powerful bike, then yeah, this is going to be boring in a few months. Because you know what? All your friends are going to have faster bikes. If you want to have a faster bike, then don't get it. If you want to have fun,
you were going at a good pace for not knowing the road. I don't really even ride much faster than that. And
see that?
This bike, you can do that speed on this bike or that bike. It really comes down to, do you want that extra speed for the freeway? Do you want that better suspension? You know, the bigger tires, which are great on the freeway and sometimes also in the canyons. But this thing, you can do it all in the canyons if you want to.
How did you feel on this bike? Now, you know the roads, I don't, but you don't know the bike.
It's really, really good. As far as super sports go, I'd like it better than the 636. Better, because the engine braking is a lot smoother, and the acceleration is phenomenal. The fueling is great. The Olin shock is very compliant. It's awesome. The tires are good. I could feel what everything was doing because this is a bone stock bike. Yeah. So this is what I'm going to end up with if I were to buy one of these. It is actually really comfortable as far as super sports go. Yeah. It's tall as fuck, but if you're not short like I am, like you have no problem. But even once I'm on it, I like it. I feel comfortable. The only thing I don't like is that clutch lever. The friction zone is so far out that it messes with me when I'm taking off in first.
Did you use the quick shifter at all? The quick shifter?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you did?
The quick shifter is good. It almost shifts slightly earlier than I'm thinking it will, but it's really smooth. It's smoother than this quick shifter. Now this quick shifter from 1 to 2, I don't recommend it. Anything else, I recommend it 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6. But yeah, it's actually really comfortable. I hate the levers. I would change that so fast, but and I would put a fender eliminator on it. Everything else, you could leave it just like it is. It's really good.
Was it hard for you to keep up with me on the better bike?
No, you were doing really well for a first-time rider on that road, but there were some corners I would entry a little faster only because I know the road.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly what you get by knowing a road. You know your entry speed.
So I don't know what I'm getting
you were doing pretty good. But what I noticed is with the way you were riding it, is you were able to make quick course corrections as needed if you found yourself in the wrong spot or, and I noticed that it's very forgiving.
Have you done anything to the brakes? The brakes were really good.
Oh, I changed 2 EBC brake pads in the front.
Wow.
So
I guess it's a lighter bike, so it doesn't need as much braking as that does. Plus you did the upgrades.
Yeah, it's not as different as you would think.
Wow.
Now I noticed this one, it's the difference between pulling it with no brake and then brake engaging. It seems like the lever is almost a little on the sticky side, and that could probably be improved with various things, lubrication, different lever. Brakes are really good though. Single finger braking, like you said.
Yeah.
But these brakes are really pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially for the mass of that bike. Yeah, I put EBC H8 sintered metal pads. These bikes come with organic. The ABS come with sintered metal. So yeah, the brakes are really good.
I gotta double check the weight difference, but you think it's about 60 pounds,
well,
huh?
Between 30 and 60 pounds. Any other thoughts on the 300?
I'm just very impressed with it. It's very confidence inspiring. I felt solid on the road. Again, I'm not familiar with the roads, but yet with a bike like this, I was actually able to have fun. Now you could be on another bike, and I may not have had as much fun as that, like a much more powerful bike.
Exactly.
If it doesn't feel so, I don't know, just glued to the road the way this does, then I'm gonna be a little nervous. I'm be like, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't really worried at all. I mean, my main thing is the normal stuff. I don't want to come around the corner and there's gravel, there's a broken down car. But it was never the bike. I don't think the entire run that we did, and as fast as we were going, and we had a good pace, I think.
Yeah, you're going to be great. If once you on any road that you know, you're going to be flying on that thing.
I don't think I ever felt once like, whoa, I might lose the back tire. Or,
yeah.
No, man. It was, the only concern was make sure there's no surprises around the corner. It's not a matter of the corner's too sharp for this bike, or you know, my brakes, I won't stop in time, or no, not at all, man.
So you can see that it's far more capable. Right now it's just more capable than your knowledge of the road, and that's totally normal. Same thing with this. It's got all this power, but you know, for me, I had to get used to the entry speed in which gear, you know, because I know the road, but I know my entry speed, and I just got to get used to what the bike's going to do when I tip it in. But when I tip it in, it's really flickable. It's heavier than the 300, obviously. It takes more pressure. But I like it way better than the Gixxer 1000 I rode. No offense to Superbike Sean, a great guy. That he rides the wheels off any bike. But for me, I like that 675 better than the 636, better than the Gixxer 1000.
I will say this, to people who, you know, think about, oh, Ninja 250, 300, you know, 50cc, whatever, you know, it's a significant difference over the 250. Well, now, I definitely feel the extra power on that thing.
See, one thing to keep in mind is all the mods I've done to it. Now, one of my goals here...
that's right. Yeah, five extra horsepower, right, with full exhaust.
5 extra.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm doing, though, is my goal is to make a small displacement bike that handles like a top shelf small displacement sport bike. In other words, what if Daytona made a 375R? It would be like that, except smaller engine, smaller bike, you know, less mass. I made that. Yeah, buddy.
ZX3R.
So if you guys want your own ZX3R sticker, go to spacepodwithazero.com. I got some thread in here, but that's okay.
Carbon fiber! Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Oh!
Only if your gloves are on.
Okay, that was obscene. Can we censor that?
Yeah, that'll give me
a sexy exhaust, though. So.
Well, the exhaust, you know, you're saving weight, better looks, more clearance for your right foot. What do you think of these shorty levers? Have you ever ridden with shorties?
No.
Aren't they amazing? You can adjust them too.
Yeah, loved it, man.
And I got some preload adjusters on there. I am gonna probably do the forks with a drop-in cartridge emulator and better oil.
Are there any more nice roads?
Yes.
All right.
Very nice.
Can we switch up a little bit?
Yeah, ride your bike so you can enjoy it on your bike.
And then, are you gonna keep rolling the whole time, or?
I'm rolling now.
Okay.
Yeah, let's roll. Okay, guys, and I had a good sampling of that. I'm actually pretty happy already.
All right.
So I'm actually glad to be on my bike again, but I love this thing. I'm gonna keep talking about it. This bike's gonna feel like a cruiser. You good? We're a little late in the day, so the sun is in our eyes. Okay, that's it. Off the Chili's.
Nice road, man.
Good ride, huh? Cool, I want to hear your thoughts. Yeah, man. Oh, that thing sounds so good. It's like pouring from my ears. Yeah, I'm a 3-cylinder fan. I'm a Daytona fan. That thing sounds awesome. Yeah. You're on YouTube, say hi. CarlylesPicks, Daytona 675R. Princess wave. Nice. What'd you think overall of the road? We kind of know what you think of the bike. Any other thoughts of your bike on that road?
At one point in time when I was accelerating, you know, one of the gear changes was so aggressive that it almost felt like it was gonna like lift up or do something crazy.
Right.
So you're a new rider on something like this and you make a wrong input on the throttle or something like that, and you will be punished.
That's true. This is a lot more forgiving. Although I've always taken the tack, your bike's still on,
Yeah.
that people can ride a bigger bike. I think you're better off starting small because you don't have to be so disciplined. You can learn what you need to learn without getting killed.
Yes.
You can do it if you really set on it, but I think you'll have more fun on a smaller bike starting out, especially 300, which is so capable, because it's not as limited as the old 250. You know, the 250 was carbureted. It was a 250, you know, it didn't have the components this thing has. This has a slipper clutch, just like this. They both have slipper clutches, which is amazing. This is basically the first of what we're gonna see, I think, in a string of small displacement top shelf bikes. It's not a top shelf bike, but it can be made into one. And I would love to see Daytona come out with a 375R, all the same top shelf components, small displacement, small chassis, small frame. So, but yeah, this is a really good starter. And as you saw, it's very capable. Even with your first time on that road, you're doing great, you know?
I gotta say though, the choice of that road was awesome because, you know, I like riding on the Snake and everything, but you know what? When I ride this on the Snake, it's so technical and so tight that, to be honest, I don't really feel the full benefit of the Olin suspension.
Yeah.
On those roads, now I'm not crazy enough to really push things like too crazy with that, but I did at least feel like I'm taking some advantage of it. Especially when you're getting on the throttle really hard and the road's not that even, and you feel like maybe the back tire might be lifting a little bit, and that suspension has to be able to, you know, keep the tire on the road.
Right.
And Olin's, baby.
Yeah.
You know?
That one spot where you dropped way back and then you caught up, that was a pretty bumpy road, but you were going pretty good on a road that is not ideal, and yet that Olin's really soaked it up really nicely.
It could have been a scary experience on another bike with maybe cheaper suspension. Maybe I'm being bounced around too much. I could have felt light. It makes a big difference, man.
Right.
People spend all this money on like engine upgrades. I didn't do a video. I was supposed to talk about this. I recommend one of the best modifications to do to a motorcycle or a car: suspension.
I agree.
One of the best modifications you can do.
Yeah.
Get about the horsepower. Get the suspension so the vehicle sits on the road properly.
Right.
So you feel confident enough to actually go faster.
Oh yeah, and you'll have more fun going faster, and you'll feel more in control. Like, this thing's already pretty good, but there's some things I can do to make it better. Although I think it's pretty good. You know, I did the preload, but definitely I'm going to do the cartridge emulators and the oil. That's actually going to really help the front end. And then I could get Olin's for the rear if I really decide to keep it and really see what I can do with it. But this thing, right out of the box, amazing suspension. And all you need to do is dial it in for your sag or your weight. And it's probably already set up for someone of your weight, 155-ish, right?
160, yeah.
So yeah, you're golden.
Can you go over real quick again for the viewers exactly what you've done here? I know you did the full exhaust.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? What's everything that's been done?
Oh, okay, so full exhaust, ECU tune from Flash Tune.
How'd that work? You had to go someplace?
I basically go down there and they flash the ECU so it has the fuel air mapping for this full exhaust. So you get the full breathability, the full power of the full exhaust. Without that, you're not getting the full power. Grips, SSR preload caps, Woodcraft clip-ons, amazing for the twisties. Absolutely essential for the twisties. Tires, Pirelli Diablo Rosso 2, highly recommended. Stock sizing, I don't recommend going bigger. Stick with your small size and enjoy and exploit the awesome handling of the Ninja 300 as it's meant to be. So that's highly recommended. EBC front brake pads, HH sintered metal over the organic, which comes stock. Solo seat cowl, Yoshi fender eliminator. I'm probably missing something, but that's about it. And that's a really, oh yeah, sprockets, very important. I did 15 in the front countershaft. Initially I did that, but it was too tall. So I had to improve the gearing. So I went with a 43 in the back, which is an aluminum sprocket, so you save a pound of unsprung weight. And that's a Vortex 43. And then I went with a DID 108 link chain.
Why'd you do that?
I had to go up 2 links to accommodate the bigger sizes of sprockets. And I did that because stock, first gear is so short that you can't even complete a turn without having to shift. That sucks. Okay. And 15, with a 15 in front over 14, it's a little tall. So it feels sluggish on your high-end roll-ons. First gear is nice and long, but all the other gears are too tall. On a bike this small, you don't want your gearing too tall. The 43 and the 1543 is a perfect balance for power, longer first gear, everything. It's amazing. And you can actually go with just a 40 in the rear and keep the 14 stock, and you'll get the same effect.
There's a rumor going around on YouTube about something that you do. I hate to put you on the spot here, but supposedly you make your own brake fluid from scratch. Is that true?
Yeah, a little bit of Wesson oil, and then any leftover urine I have.
Oh!
Yeah, that's why it smells so amazing. So yeah, I do make my own brake fluid. You did put me on the spot, but I do sell it for $19.95 a quart.
All organic though.
Yeah. So, and these Woodcrafts, I have to tell you, are really great. The Pazzo levers, of course, I forgot to mention those. These are the shorty adjustable levers, black with blue adjusters. You can get any color lever, any color adjuster, any combo. Any final words?
Awesome roads.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's great meeting you.
Those roads are way better than the snake, man.
Oh my, I know. You see why I don't mess with the snake?
You can see through the turns.
I know. Did you see that one racetrack section?
No.
Well, it's kind of all like that. But San Francisco, the long sweeping left that you could see through.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I knew you'd want to hit that hard.
That sounded kind of sexual, but...
Oh, yeah, it is. It's very...